Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video by yours truly on the 𝗀𝗵𝗂 channel. I need y'all to do three things for me before we start, though. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video so someone else can do the very same thing. And if they don't, then we're going to send the Daily Caller after them. People who know me, they know exactly where I come from and where I am now. People who know me know that I moved from one state and came to an entirely different part of the United States of America. And I'm so glad and I'm so happy that I actually did. I'm glad I moved to the South when I did, because I'm sorry to say, and this is in my opinion, matter of fact, it's not even an opinion, this is a fact. States that are ran by Democrats are shitholes. I'm just going to be 100 with y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or not, because if you're a Democrat, then you probably don't agree with me. Why? Because you are blinded to the fact, you're blinded to the truth. You don't want to see it. See, there's a difference between people seeing the truth and it being right in front of your face and acting like you don't see it because you close your eyes. That's exactly what y'all do. You close your eyes and you act like you're blind to the facts that are staring at you right in front of your face, to the point where these Democratic appointed legislation makers and lawmakers and politicians, they all run your state into the ground. Your state looks disgusting. That's just how it is. If you really think about it for a moment, right? Those states that are ran by Democrats, why do you think they're so much in debt? Why do you think they have issues and problems with drugs, homelessness? They look like, if you remember years ago how California, right? Gavin Newsom had to clean up the streets of California before. I forget his name, but the guy who runs China, Xing, whatever his name is, before he came to visit, they cleaned up California because they had to. California looked like a shithole. And he had to, it's just like that guy who lives like a slob and he has a girlfriend that's coming over, or a woman that's coming over for the first time. What does he do? He throws shit under the bed, he throws shit in the closet, he hides shit here, hides things there, cleans up real quick, dust, only to make it look good momentarily. And then what happens when she leaves? Back to the same old slob that he was. These states, that's exactly how they are running these states. Democratic ran states. And I cannot believe I'm not going to say I was a part of that party, but I used to have the same ideology and I used to think the same way as they do, because I was also brainwashed and blinded to the facts. So today's video that I bring you is from the Daily Caller, and it is about the issue and the problem they are having in the Bronx with drugs. They are saying that the Bronx is a drug-ridden shithole, hellhole, place to stay. And I'm from New York. That's where I was raised. I love New York. But I cannot condone shit like this, especially when you have people on the streets just taking drugs left and right. And of course, you are going to want to blame another side of the political aisle. You're going to want to blame the other side. You're going to want to blame the right side. You're going to want to blame Republicans, conservatives, everyone else except for yourselves and the people that you continue to elect. Just like they just elected who? 𝗀𝗵𝗲 for mayor of New York City. And look how that shit is turning out.
Welcome to the Tremont Avenue train station in the Bronx, New York.
We saw people cleaning needles and doing drugs on the stairs. And someone sent us these photos of caps on the platform and multiple people passed out throughout the station.
They be shooting that much dope around here?
Yes, apparently they be doing that.
It's very sad, and it just tells you how dangerous our area is.
And he's right. As I looked further into
block span, we saw people shooting up, a man projectile vomiting, then passing out right next to his vomit. We witnessed money changing hands, all in broad daylight. It's what people here call an open-air drug market.
Now, of course, you are going to have states and cities, towns that look like this because you have drug addicts everywhere. That's a given. But one thing that we have to understand is when you are lenient on crime, when you are lenient on drugs, drug use, drug abuse, guess what's going to happen? People are going to continue doing it, and you're going to have more people who want to do it. Why? Because you're lenient on it. It's that simple. If I commit a crime, I rob somebody, I get a slap on the wrist, and they let me right back out, guess what I'm going to do tomorrow? Just guess, just one guess. We're human beings. This is the reason why we do some of the shit that we do. We're not far from these kids right here that you see, because we know what happens when you allow kids to do certain shit and there's no type of punishment, no consequences for their actions. Guess what they do? They continue to do the same shit. This is why it's important to have what in the home? A disciplinarian. It's that simple. So when the court system allows these drug addicts to do what they do in the streets, there's no consequences. When they're lax on crime, which they trust and believe they are, they most certainly are. Crime is going to be high in those states. And just because they cook the numbers and they play around with the numbers and they cook the books, doesn't mean that crime is not high in those states. It most certainly is high in those states. And there's another thing we have to remember. Run down the states who have the highest crime rates, right? I guarantee you they're going to be blue states.
School children walked by the scene of people shooting up as we
Look at
interviewed
this.
Wendy.
Disgusting.
These kids, look what they gotta walk by. It's always gun violence. It's always fighting. It's always crackheads up in this block, all up and down this block.
4 months later, when we visited again, we found the open-air drug market is still thriving. Just ended up migrating half a block south and across the street into 𝗱𝗿𝗂𝗴 Plaza.
And living in the Bronx, nightmare fuel.
4 people drugged out, passed out as a woman grabs her mail from her lobby. A little girl with a...
Wait a minute. Do y'all see? What is going on here? Wait a minute. Are we living in a movie? What is this? Is this real or what? This is crazy. And this is this year. If you look at the date up here, this is this year. This isn't a video from 3 years ago. This is this current year. And shit like this is happening. Shit like this is going on. And you mean to tell me there's no problem and there's no issue in New York? The other thing that we have to realize is that when you have a Republican president, a Republican governor, anyone who wants to come in and clean up the streets, they get pushback. They get pushback. And these are the same people, Democrats, who will tell you that, oh, nothing's wrong. Everything is fine. It's lovely. Our state is great. There's no crime here. It's the other side. Just let us be. Everything is wonderful. Another thing that you have to realize is that these states do not even allow you to protect yourself. Think about that for a second. Blue states do not allow you to protect yourself. You cannot have guns in New York. Those who have guns, they have to go through so many legal avenues in order to own a gun, in order to have a gun. And of course, you'll probably say, that's to keep everyone safe. How safe is it when the bad guys have guns? How safe is it when the gangsters have guns? How safe is it when the YNs have guns? They don't get theirs legally. So how safe is it for the law-abiding citizens who are not allowed to have guns, but those who commit crimes have them?
Backpack watches them. Residents say it's like this every day at 2654 Valentine Avenue. This video shows someone handling what appears to be a crack pipe, and another scene, someone openly smoking something in the lobby. This guy seems to pass drugs to another person while someone roams around in the back. She says she calls management 311 and the police often. They'll tell the people to leave, but she says they always come back.
That's how blue states are. Democratic ran states are exactly this way. Think about it. It's the same thing in Chicago, in California. It's the same thing in New York. It's the same thing in these. It don't even have to be a blue ran state, a Democratic ran state. It could be a city. The mayor, it could be a city. That's exactly what's going to happen to your states if we allow this shit. If we keep voting these people into office, this is exactly what's going to happen to the country.
ran into this homeless man getting dressed inside the stairwell.
They don't belong in here. I have daughters, I have sons.
This is crazy.
This man wants to do something.
Residents call it a stairwell nightmare at Mitchell houses. Inside this disturbing stairwell, you see blood smeared on walls and floors, leftover food, and blood-stained needles.
Wow.
I had to step out for a moment because the smell was just unbearable.
Meanwhile, Richie Torres blames the governor for laws he says are failing New Yorkers. He says the drug dealers at the open-air drug market pop right back onto the scene whenever they're arrested. Torres wants changes to the state's bail and discovery laws, which he says is the reason repeat offenders are constantly being released.
Didn't I say that? Isn't that what I just said? They are so lax on laws that you go in and you come right back out. So why not continue to do the same thing? There's no real consequences. These people act like criminals are better than the law-abiding citizens. That's the reasons why you as a law-abiding citizen are not allowed to have certain weapons in these democratic ran states. But guess what though? The people who commit crimes, it's fine for them to have weapons because they're not going to get it legally anyway. And then when they do get caught, they go through the system. That's why you have someone who's got 20 offenses on their rap sheet and they're still out in the streets. Why? I guarantee you this does not happen in the red ran states. I guarantee you it does not happen in the Republican ran states. It doesn't. Now, you may have some that slip through the cracks, but for the most part, conservative people who have value and morals, they do not play that shit. You're not going to do drugs around our kids. You're not going to shoot up around our kids. You're not going to be changing in the stairwell, sleeping in the stairwell. You're just not going to do that around our kids because we what? We want safety. Safety is the very main thing that we want. Conservative people, they want safety. That's the major thing that we think about. So, if you live in a blue ran state, when elections come back up, all I have to say is, if you vote another Democrat into office, you can't blame no one but yourselves. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.